Committing to my own success was something I was not able to do, and here is how I changed it. So when I say committing to my own success, I mean that there was things that I wanted that I wasn't putting the time, energy, or effort into to have, to move myself to the next level. My level of commitment was questionable at best to things I was saying. There's a saying out there that the audio doesn't match the video, which means your actions that you're doing, the things you're doing, are not matching what you say you want. And so my commitment to those was not there. See, the first thing that I did is I truly recognized a pattern. I recognized a pattern of me saying, "Hey, I want to change what I'm doing for a living," but then I would make no effort to do that. And then if I did make the effort wasn't sustainable. There was no commitment to the next thing. There are some times that I found that it got hard and I backed out. There were some times that I felt it moving wasn't moving fast enough, and I I don't know if I got bored with it or the end result wasn't coming quick enough. So I was like, well, this is never going to happen. So I stopped. And I found that, when I started on my journey to sort of finally figure myself out, I found that pattern of not keeping the effort up was something that I had done a lot in my life. I wasn't the greatest student in school. I always remember every teacher telling my mom that, apply the effort to be a straight A student. I wasn't interested. I, the one thing that I sort of committed to in when I was, young was, sports in high school. I ran track. Anytime the track season around, my grades would go up. And so, that level, that early on commitment was something, if I really think back, that really, I lacked some of that. You know, unless it was something like when I joined the service, that was sort of, commitment that was, there's a lot of rules to that commitment. If you didn't follow the rules, you could be in significant trouble, have significant punishment, put upon you. So, those kind of commitments are, I find, easy. It's the personal ones that you state that you want. I found that I wasn't following through on. One of the things, the second thing that I found that has started changing that is I joined a community. I've been member of communities with not really recognize it for a lot. As I said, I ran track. Well, that's kind of a community. I joined the military. That's another type of community, and on and on. Like, I've been in and out of organizations that felt made you feel like you were part of it, and yet none of them held me to a standard of maintaining the commitment I said that I wanted, except for this last community that I joined. The community is GoBundance. It's GoBundance. You can look it up. GOBUNDANCE is the way it's spelled. You look it up, and it is a community that holds you accountable, because you show up and you say you want to be accountable. So then the members of this community, you have voluntarily stepped up and said, I want to be held accountable for what I say. And so they push your commitment to another level. And maybe it's not a community that you want, that's like an online community, but maybe you want an in-person community. So I could go to meetups. There's plenty of opportunities to join, like there's, a community like a VFW or an American Legion or an Eagles or an Elks or the Moose Club. Like there's plenty of those type of organizations that have a community feel, that you may be able to find, people in there that will hold you to what you commit to. Because it also might be like you have to commit to something to stay part of that organization. So finding a community for me was one of the best things that I did, was finding that space that was willing to hold me accountable for what I had agreed to commit to. And so the third thing that I did was I stopped looking for the end result. I started paying attention to the process of what I committed to. So, an example, I had this idea, this desire to have a sort of an in-home service type of business. And the commitment to it is that I had to build this thing. I had to build it from the ground up. I had the experience. I gained the knowledge by flipping a couple houses. I put myself into a situation where I found a part of that flip that I really, really liked. I started leaning into it. I started working with the guy that taught me how to do the work, and I made a commitment that I was going to build this to sort of move myself forward. And I kept looking at the end result. I kept looking at the end result of I'd have a couple trucks, I'd have some crews. I would be the head of the company. I would be the social media face for it. And then with the help of some members of the community that I joined, and gaining some knowledge that I did not have when it came to actually building and or running a business, what I found is that my commitment that I said to me wanting this was causing me to look at the end result. And when I started looking at the process to get there, I found that it wasn't fitting me. It wasn't fitting. It felt like work that was going to need to be done that I was not interested in doing. It wasn't aligning with who I found I was, or who I am. And so my commitment that I was putting myself into wasn't aligned with me, did not feel like a fit. So it was as if I was sticking with it because I was afraid of not having the success that I've wanted. And really what I found was it was actually causing me to not get the success that I believe I want. And I'm not talking about success in, a bank account full of money, which I'll take and most people would, but I'm talking about success in, my personal relationships, my business relationships, my success in my goals, success in my vision, success with life in general. And so when I really sit down and think about it, the thing I have to do is I know where I want to go. I know where I want to be. I have a commitment to get there. But dedicating myself to the process and paying attention to the process of getting there will, teach me so much more by the time I get there. But it'll also make it possible to achieve those goals in a manner that the effort won't feel overwhelming, and I will gain patience and opportunity while moving towards that end goal. And being able to recommit myself to my own success is something new for me and something I've learned. And if you're finding that you don't you haven't recognized a pattern yet. You found you don't have a community, and you are looking at the end goal. You will not move. It will be too overwhelming for you. So my challenge to you is to sort of reassess what you feel success is, and what level of commitment you're willing to put towards it if it's not where you're currently at. I would suspect if you're watching this video that you may be not where you want to be. So if that's the case, please feel free to reach out, comment in on this video, let me know what you think of this video. Reach out and let's talk. I would love to know where you need some assistance, and until we talk again, live life like you mean it.